Hello, I haven't seen any English reviews of the N97 Elite yet, and I just got mine yesterday. I've been using it for a full day, and I figured I'd just make a video showing how it works. So this is made by Sugar Cubes. What they do is they modify phones, whatever devices they can find really, and they will turn into their own kind of gaming device. So this is something I got imported. As you can see, there's a SIM card slot here. It works functionally as a phone. I'll get into that very shortly. Power, volume. You have this is charging. This does not charge. These are two triggers that act as RB and LB. And here is the phone. So it isn't as big as it looks. It kind of looks like a brick when I'm holding it. But if I were to compare it to like a Nintendo Switch, right? It is chunkier, but it is all in that, like, it's not very big. Um, so it works functionally as a phone. Like, it has, apps, everything. It doesn't come with Play Store either. I had to install that, but Google services and everything work. I put my SIM card into this. It also works. It does make calls, but it doesn't sound very loud unless you put it into speakerphone. So I wouldn't consider it a calling phone unless you only like speaker or you have like Bluetooth or something. So it did come preloaded with certain softwares. So like this is a software for managing rotations here. This came already on the device. I didn't have to set it up. It came preloaded with a bunch of games. So as you can see here is Pegasus launcher. And when you put it into this rotation, it'll automatically turn to that way. As you can see, it came with a whole bunch of games. So, um, still playing. Okay, so the way this phone works is that in regular mode, you can turn it to any orientation you'd like, but when you put it into this mode, it locks into this rotation here, and you can't change it unless you do it through the notification. And the other thing is that whenever you do this, it acts as if it is plugging in a USB. So as you can see, if I do this, you'll see the USB logo. So this is like a wired controller that activates whenever this is flipped out. So as you can see, there's like a plastic piece there, and there's a ribbon cable for the screen. The other thing that's pretty annoying about this device is that you cannot use the controller while you're charging it, and it can't charge through this one. So if you're plugged into here, you cannot play while that's plugged into there. Other than that, the specs, it comes with the Snapdragon 855 Plus, which can be fine for a lot of lightweight games. Very good for PS2 though. It 12 gigs of RAM, 512 gigabytes of storage. And if you're wondering why the specs are so weird, is that this is like Sugar Cubes modifies devices. So they took the Samsung W20, which is the global version of the Samsung Fold 1, and they just put it into here. That's why the screen dimensions are 21 by 9. So when I hear people saying, the dimensions suck, and why would they put 12 gigs of RAM on an 855? This is why. It's just a modified device. They didn't choose the specs particularly. So if this phone is off and you flip it out, it'll get the USB detection and turn back on. So these are a bunch of games that I got working. Supercell, ignore those, but like these are Android games that work very well with controller. So like for example, if I were to launch this. So I'm not quite the person to complain about grips usually. I don't even like using grips on most of my devices. This can be a little like pricky. It kind of digs into your hands a little bit when you're holding it, but I got generally big hands. These are, I wish they were more far out, but it kind of makes it hard to press when you're holding it like this and also hold the device. So these two, start, select, these act as the right and left triggers, which are quite weird. This is the equivalent of like the Xbox button on an Xbox controller. These would be L3, R3, and then these would be RB and LB and RB, which is kind of weird. I wish these were triggers instead, but it works, I guess. You can rebind most games. Oh, and to mention, this only acts as a D-pad, not as a joystick. I haven't found a way to change it, which is kind of unfortunate. So, certain games, a lot of games don't fit into this aspect ratio. It isn't 1080p, it's like 834 pixels by like 1800, so I guess it's 21 by 9. Some games do fit into that full aspect ratio. So I have absolutely loved playing Street Fighter on this thing because it does take up the whole screen. It's absolutely beautiful. Controls work very nice with the D-pad, and it doesn't get in the way. You're not missing any out on anything. Yeah, it's beautiful. Now, one thing you will notice is that the resolution isn't as big as you would wish a regular phone to be. So you will see things look a little blocky here and there because it's not a full 1080p. It's closer to 720p. I was able to get Game Hub to work, so light PC gaming. So Casual Crashers, Deltarune. I was playing Deltarune. Pizza Tower works. These are games that also work on here. You can download them right through Steam. I'm using Game Hub Lite for this one to be as lightweight as possible. It came preloaded with these emulators as well. Although I downloaded Eden myself and Archiver. So for typing and whatnot, it is a little slim. If you wanted to type with one hand, this would be perfect. Although I'd be too scared of dropping it to type with one hand. Yeah, if you have any questions about this device, please ask in the comments. This is a glass plate on the back. I don't know what it's for. It adds quite some weight to it, but I mean, it feels nice, It's kind of spinny whenever it's on a table or something. And overall, it runs Android 12. It's pretty much just a W20 that doesn't open. It's great. I love it. I paid about $450 for this thing in total. That's Canadian dollars, by the way. I got it imported through Superbuy. So Superbuy is a service where they will buy items from you from Chinese marketplaces and ship it to you from their warehouse. So they have a service where they will find this product the cheapest from the cheapest listing they can from any Chinese marketplaces and whatnot. So to buy it from them in total, it was about 400 Canadian dollars with the fee. They charge 10% on whatever they're helping you buy, and then they will they'll ship it to their warehouse, and then you have to pay for shipping. So I waited about 2 months for this one because I picked the cheapest shipping option, which was cargo, which is like $20 US, and I paid no import fees because they declared it as $14 or under $14. So overall, it's a great device. I absolutely love it. Yeah, just the fan thing. Yeah, please leave questions. I'll do anything with this device, really. Hey, last thing, I'm just editing in quickly. So my experience with sound has been really good on this device. The speakers are actually very nice here. There is a camera on the back here. I don't know if you can see it. It is not the best camera, but it does work. I guess if you do need a camera, I wouldn't recommend this, but it does work, and it's reversed compared to regular images. So if I tilt it either way, it's gonna be, you see, it's flipped, and I haven't been able to change that. It does have 5G, so 5G does work. My experience with the cell towers has been pretty good, and the rumble on this thing really sucks. It is not very good rumble, but you can just turn that off.